on Talksport 2. Stanley from all corners of Loftus Road. And if he was to witness what was going on in his memory tonight, he'd wonder what all the fuss was about, I imagine, Stan Bowles.
Yeah, very understated off the pitch, not on it though. He's the sort of player that when he turned up, any QPR team turned up and Stan wasn't in it, the opposition supporters will be disappointed, and that's a sign of class in it.
And QPR was so close to winning the First Division title in 1975-76 when Stan Bowles was in his pomp. And I know you hear it said quite often when great players and great sports people pass away, but when it comes to Stan Bowles, we will never truly see his like again, and that is a shame. But there are talented players in this current QPR side that can unlock defences. Ilias Chair, I guess, is chief amongst those, Alvin. They'll be looking to him again tonight to create the havoc and unlock that West Brom defence.
I think every team in the country, bar none, we all crave that player, don't we? When the ball reaches him, everybody takes a deep breath and anticipates that something's going to happen. Doesn't always, but you always felt that it could with people like Stan Bowles. And you need a player like that in your team, because I think they had Eze here. When I used to watch him, he was that sort of player. And as you say, Chair, it's a big responsibility for anyone, to take that role on in any team.
Well, we're going to get underway here on Talksport 2 as the ball is rolled back by Lucas Anderson, although the referee wants players to take the knee first, as they do, before kick-off, and the long-haired Dane Lucas Anderson will roll the ball all the way back to Steve Cook, who will launch the ball downfield, and we are underway on Talksport 2 at Loftus Road. QPR then attacking the school end to our right with the blue and white hoops on their shirts, white shorts and socks. West Brom in that chain strip of dark blue shirts with little red flecks going down in the sort of hash stripe from left shoulder to right hip. Ball's thrown in for Arkaya Kuzlu, and the ball's worked back to Cedric Kipre, and he will give the ball to Alex Palmer, the West Brom goalkeeper. There's games that have already got underway in the Championship. No goals at Cardiff, Huddersfield, Middlesbrough, Norwich or Watford, Swansea. They all got underway at 7:45. Arsenal 4-0 up on Aston Villa in the Women's League Cup semi-final. That was a 7:15 kickoff. Hat-trick for Stina Blackstenius for Arsenal in those opening 40 minutes or so. I think they're in the final. Cedric Kipre for West Bromwich Albion in the second minute of the game. Gives the ball to his left for Eric Peters, who's preferred to Semi Ajayi at centre-half. No Kyle Bartley at the moment either. Ball's worked forward to Jed Wallace, who plays a neat 1-2 with Grady Diangana. Works the ball in field. It just got away from Mikey Johnston. And Paul Smith clears the ball downfield and out of play for a QPR throw on this near side. West Brom are attacking the loft end to our left in this first half as Norwich take the lead at Middlesbrough. Ashley Barnes for Norwich, who start the night in 7th, just 2 points off Hull. They're one of the teams that West Brom need to keep an eye on, Alvin, Norwich City.
Yeah, well, not so long ago they were struggling. The Norwich crowd were getting on top of David Wagner, weren't they? But all of a sudden they've gone into a run now, and it shows how quick it can change. That's why this is a big game tonight for QPR. 3 big wins. The last one against Leicester. They need to win this one. If they win this one, they're really on their way. But to lose it, you take a step back, Dance.
Jimmy Dunn will take a throw for QPR by the corner flag as they attack the school end, gets to the byline and wins a corner off Adam Reach. Good start for the home side. They've got a corner inside 3 minutes, 0-0. And it will be Lucas Anderson, who has yet to score since arriving from Aalborg in Denmark, one of the January captures that Marty Cifuentes brought to Loftus Road. Be a right-footed outswinger where the main stand meets the school end, just down to our right-hand side. There's no one come for a short option, although there was a move just towards him for a moment by Jake Clark-Salter and Steve Cook. In it comes from Anderson, into the near post, headed up and out to the edge of the area, brought down by Chair, has to run back to the halfway line, and then it's sent all the way back by Kenneth Powell to Asmir Begovic, the QPR keeper. 0-0, 3 minutes gone.
It took everyone back for that, West Brom. Every West Brom player was in the penalty area defending that corner. I'm sure I always like that, Dancer. I always think you should lay one up, and it takes two of the QPR players back with you, so I always feel it's worth doing that.
Well, Michael Frey was causing a bit of aggravation down the left-hand side for QPR, forced West Brom to put the ball out of play. Swansea had the lead at Watford. An own goal from Ryan Andrews has put the Swans ahead at Vicarage Road. They failed to win in their last 4 at home, Watford, and lost 6 out of 7 overall. Swansea back-to-back wins, and they're in front at Vicarage Road. Pressure on Valerian Ismail without question. Ball's with West Brom, and Adam Reach, who's playing at left-back tonight in the absence of Connor Townsend, works the ball back to Alex Mowat. Infield it goes to the 2 centre-halves at the edge of the West Brom penalty area. Peters and Kipre, 0-0.
Very, very patient build-up, isn't it, by West Brom? They come here and they will have a lot of possession. That can be quite frustrating because you sense, don't you, after the 3 wins for QPR, they want to start off quick. They want to get the crowd on side, keep the atmosphere really high, as it was obviously with the the memory of Stan Bowles prior to the game.
Ball's worked back by Alex Mowat to his keeper, Alex Palmer, in the West Brom goal. 15 clean sheets he's kept this season. Fantastic record for the West Brom keeper. Mowat plays the ball up to the halfway line. A chance for Mikey Johnston to turn and have a run at the QPR backline, but Paul Smith, tigerish as ever, snaps in and wins the ball for QPR, but West Brom have it back. Heavy touch though from Yukuzlu, and Anderson brings it over halfway. Smith to his right, and he clips it up to Chair at the edge of the area, but that's Darnell Furlong back on his old stomping ground, very casually and comfortably nodding the ball back to Alex Palmer. 0-0, 5 minutes gone on Talksport 2.
Yeah, he's trying to force it there, Anderson. He's playing an angled ball, a dink-up ball, to Chair, who's not got the height to be able to win that. He needs to be playing that ball into Frey, really.
Mikey Johnston on loan at West Brom from Celtic, and he's been in excellent form. 3 goals already in his loan spell. Manchester City already in front against Copenhagen through Manuel Akanji. West Brom get the ball down the right-hand side, but young Tom Fellows from the academy can't wrap his foot round the cross well enough, and it's drifted behind at the loft end for a QPR goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, it's, I think obviously QPR are going to be a little bit patient, but they will play the ball a little more direct, I think, at times, up to Frey, who's he's 6'2", 6'3", and they'll try and join him probably more than the West Brom team will. They'll want to pass it through the segments, short passes, 10-yard passes. That's their style. That's the way they want to play. But I think QPR like to mix it up a little bit. There's nothing wrong with playing long now and again. If you can see somebody's chest dance, play it up to. Because you're playing a ball, you're getting like 70-80 yards up the pitch from one ball.
West Brom in possession with Darnell Furlong. Clips it back to Kipre. Midway point of his own half of West Brom, taking the game down to walking pace. Then clips it into the centre circle for Yukuzlu. Receives it again on the halfway line, but was being immediately closed down by the former West Brom player Sam Field. They try and slip it through the inside left channel for Reach, but well intercepted by Jimmy Dunn. And now Anderson has it on halfway for QPR, hugging this near touchline. Just slows the game down for a moment and works it infield to Field. And now it's with Kenneth Parle, who gets it from Clark Salter. Chair on the left-hand side gives it back to Jake Clark Salter. Made 40 appearances now for QPR. Had a bit of a nomadic existence, getting loans at various clubs, but seems to have made QPR his home, edging towards 50 appearances. But his long ball downfield is easily gobbled up by West Brom's back line, and it's with Alex Mowat. Plays it out to Reach on this near side, not quite on the halfway line for West Bromwich Albion, but QPR keeping a tidy shape.
Yeah, they're not chasing it, are they, Dan? So, they're being patient. They don't. I think they're respecting this West Brom team. They are a team that they can pass the ball. If you press them too high and you lose it, then you might pay the price. So they're being respectful of that. Well,
they have lost it, West Brom, and it's Lucas Anderson who's got to about 30 yards out, clips it out to Chair, left-hand corner of the penalty area for QPR, faced up by Furlong. Chair drives for the byline, fires it in near post, and Palmer turns it behind the QPR second corner of the game. 0-0.
Yeah, nearly caught him out, didn't it, Palmer? You know, he was able to watch the flight of the ball. He got to the byline. I don't think he was actually meaning the shot there, but it was a ball that was hitting. It would have gone inside that near post there. Some keepers get done. They try and read the cross, and they get done. But he's been good enough to really get down at his near post.
Took a slight nick off Furlong there, Alv. Actually, that cross from Ilias Chair, which took it towards the near post, and Palmer had to deal with it. So Lucas Anderson has a corner at the corner of the stand bowl stand of the school end, over on the far side of the field from us.
On top of the goalkeeper here.
Yeah, real packed 6-yard box. In it comes from Anderson. Great header clear from Kipre, but Chair picks it up 30 yards out. Closed down immediately, so we can't shoot at goal. But he picks it up again on the right-hand side as he was fed by Paul Smith. Chair again, forced back towards the halfway line as West Brom push out. And Kenneth Powell has to go back to Asmir Begovic. Now Clark Salter, midway point of his own half, wants an option, and coming short is Isaac Hayden, on loan from Newcastle United in the QPR midfield. Clark Salter again gives the ball to Hayden at the edge of the centre circle, and he plays a square ball to his right for Jimmy Dunn. Now Smith can't quite escape the attentions of Reach, goes out for a throw right underneath our commentary position. Really tight, compact ground, this Loftus Road. Anderson throws the ball in quickly, looking for Frey. And has he won a corner? No, says the referee, Jeff Eltringham. It's a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion. We're approaching the 10-minute mark on Talksport 2. It's 0-0 between QPR and West Brom. Manchester City have got a second against FC Copenhagen live on Talksport. Julian Alvarez makes it 2-0. And this is a lovely, tight, old-school, compact stadium, isn't it, Alvin? Holds about 18,000 in its full capacity.
It is, yeah. It's certainly, you know, if you give them something to cheer here, it's a ground that can lift, and it can lift their own team as well. But at the moment, they haven't really had too much to cheer, have they? It's been a bright start by West Brom. You can see West Brom's got a little bit more belief, a little bit more confidence when they're passing the ball, and they've taken the sting out of the game because of that.
And as we go into the 10-minute mark, once again, applause rings around for the old number 10, Stanley Bowles. Stanley is the champ once again for the late, great QPR maestro, who's been remembered here tonight, as Reach plays the ball into the QPR box for West Brom down the left-hand side. But ball's nicked out of play by Jimmy Dunn for a throw to West Brom, level with the QPR penalty area at the loft end away to our left. Reach is going to take it. Mowat is close by, but he's gone further back to Eric Peters. Not back to the halfway line for Kipre. Darnell Furlong made 72 appearances as a QPR player, ended up at West Brom, and he's nearing 200 appearances for the Baggies. And another huge roar as we tick round past 11 minutes for Stan Bowles, as West Brom keep possession on halfway with Peters. Just puts his foot on the ball for a moment. Frey comes waddling over to sort of close down the space to a degree. Now Kipre takes over for West Brom. Plays the ball out to Furlong on the right-hand side, 20 yards inside QPR territory. Tried to feed it into the feet of Jed Wallace, but it was cleared away by QPR. And Frey looks into the centre circle to fire it into the path of Smith, and Smith got it off Eric Peters, who made a mistake. Smith into the area, drives it goalwards, and it's deflected off Adam Reach and loops up, and it's a comfortable claim for Alex Palmer. But Eric Peters was dispossessed by Paul Smith after a loose touch, and the Northern Irishman just couldn't get the shot away the way he would have wanted. 0-0.
Yeah, he's fortunate to get away with that, Peters. I think he was fortunate that with two of them, they're able to snuff that danger out. But you know, they will try and pass it at the back. They will try and keep the ball even when they're under pressure. I must admit, you know, on 10 minutes there, you've got like the applause ringing around the stadium for Stan Bowles. What a difference it would be if you had Stan Bowles in a you know, at his peak in a QPR shirt tonight. You know, you really would. I mean, it would change the game. Every time the ball went to him, there would be a real anticipation, and you know, everything would revolve around him.
That's Alvin Martin alongside me, Ian Danter, here at Loftus Road in the Championship. After this, 10 games to go in the Championship for pretty much all the teams. Obviously, Southampton and Preston have not played tonight because that game is postponed. But we really are entering the business end of the EFL campaigns in all 3 divisions, but in this absolutely balmy championship with so many teams involved in all sorts of things, whether it's automatic promotion, whether it's the playoffs, or whether indeed it is the threat of relegation, which goes up to mid-table.
I think there's 12 of them, Dan. I mean, there's 12 teams involved in it. And that's why this game is so important for QPR. And you can see why they are playing cautious, and I totally understand that. You know, they don't want to take unnecessary risks, because if they were to win this 1-0 against a very good team that is looking at getting themselves promoted, you know, then it could be the platform to safety, because I think if they win this game, I really do feel it'll be a massive moment for them, and they will get out.
QPR got out of the bottom 3 for the first time since the end of September with the run of results they've been on, with these 3 straight wins. Not just the win against Leicester, but also wins against Rotherham and Bristol City. West Brom have pretty much been 5th since mid-November. 1 defeat in their last 7 in all competitions for Carlos Corberan's side, who've given the ball up, and QPR have it on halfway with Clark Salter. Cardiff take the lead against Huddersfield at the Cardiff City Stadium for Mara Jeju, putting the Bluebirds ahead. That's a 7:45 kickoff, so most of those games, the games at Cardiff, Middlesbrough and Watford, are about half an hour old. We're 14 minutes gone here, and QPR have it down the left-hand side. Field up against his old club, tries to keep it in play on that far touchline, but just trickled over the touchline. So West Bromwich Albion will have a throw, which Darnell Furlong will take. So Swansea lead at Watford, Norwich lead at Middlesbrough, and Cardiff 1 up against Huddersfield. Manchester City over on Talksport, already 2 goals to the good, and therefore 5-1 up on aggregate against FC Copenhagen, gliding through to the last 8 of the Champions League. West Brom have another throw, about 10 yards from the halfway line on the far side of the field from us. All clipped in field for Diangana, who's been dispossessed by Michael Frey. Works back to halfway, and Isaac Hayden just gives the ball back into his own half for Steve Cook, whose hair's a bit longer than last time I saw him. He used to have this shaved head when he was at Bournemouth. Grown it out a little bit, almost unrecognisable. Here is down the left-hand side Field for QPR. Chair works the ball back into the centre circle. Norwich are down to 10 men at Middlesbrough. They may be 1-0 up, but Borja Sainz has been sent off. Lovely skill from Jimmy Dunn to get Paul Smith away down the right-hand side for QPR. Plays a 1-2 with Anderson. Right-hand corner of the box. Slips it down the right side of the area. Hayden across the facing goal, and Furlong chests it behind. There was nobody there at the far post in a hoop shirt to tuck it home. West Brom defence at 6s and 7s, but they survive, and it is a QPR corner, 0-0.
What a great ball by Smith. It was a lovely weighted ball. It was all about the weight of the pass this that allowed, you know, the QPR player to get onto it. But the deflection there, really, I mean, I thought it was going to work against them for a moment, but worked for them, didn't it, just in the end? But it's the first time they've got him behind them.
Anderson with a corner, headed away at the near post by Yukuslu. But there's nobody on halfway for West Bromwich Albion, so easily won back. Clips into the area, looking for Field to head it across the goal. Frey heads it up in the air, drops around 8 yards out. Yukuslu again trying to head it clear. Wallace looks for Diangana, almost had it taken off his toe. Chair wins it back. Going to go for goal from 30 yards. Palmer spills it, comes out to Frey, goes down. Anderson across the facing goal, and Sam Field has tucked it home for Queen's Park Rangers against his old club. Frey went down under a challenge from Palmer, somewhat belatedly. The referee waved play on, and credit to Lucas Anderson, who sent the ball in from the left-hand side of the area, and running in, Sam Field tucked it home from 3 yards out, and it's 1-0 QPR.
Well, they get a large chunk of good fortune here, but you've got to give them credit, because they've got a desire that they're going to make it very difficult for West Brom to clear their lines. They don't clear it, and I think you're right. He may have had a decision to make there, the referee, because the keeper come out on Frey, And it looked like he did get a touch on him, but he should have held on to it, really. Palmer will be disappointed at the initial shot. And because they haven't been able to clear it, it's a tap-in, really, at the far post. But that really will set the game up now.
Well, QPR looking for 4 straight wins. And Sam Field, once of West Bromwich Albion, made just shy of 50 appearances. He'll have enjoyed that. And the law of the X strikes again, as it so often does in this beautiful game, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, well, again, you know, they've been, I think, a little conservative. They've been very cautious. But as soon as they've seen they could get the shot away, the keeper didn't hold it, then they flooded the penalty area. They did commit people forward. They sensed that there was something in it for them. And because of the numbers, the pure numbers that they had in there, QPR, they've taken advantage of that and been able to get themselves in front. And now listen to the crowd. You know, I think beforehand they hadn't had too much to cheer dance, but they have now.
Well, we haven't restarted yet, because in the build-up to that goal, when Alex Palmer and Michael Frey collided, bit of a slight cut to the head of the West Brom goalkeeper, so he's getting treatment, and the players have come over to this near touchline to get some coaching from their respective managers. But it is Queen's Park Rangers 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. You're listening to QPR West Brom in the EFL Championship on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Alex Palmer's having some strapping applied around his head, so there must be a bit of a cut there that needs attending to.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with the initial shot, Dan, no doubt about it. It did bounce in front of him. It is a slippery surface, but he knows that really, technically, he's capable of dealing with that, and it shouldn't bounce off him.
I wonder whether it was a penalty when
I don't think he would have given him, because I think he went down belatedly. I think there was a challenge, there was some contact, but he didn't go down straight after the contact. He took a couple of strides, Frey, then thought about it and then went down. So I think the referee would have waved play on there.
Well, QPR started the night in 20th. With that goal, they could go up 4 places. Swansea are winning, but QPR would go on to 41 points and up to 16th place, above Plymouth, Blackburn, Millwall and Birmingham, and into, well, mid-table. By no means clear of trouble, but it looks so much better when you look at the table at breakfast.
Absolutely.
Next morning.
Yeah, and that the complexity of the game now has changed, hasn't it? You know, the crowd are totally up. What they do to West Brom as well. They did actually get caught trying to overplay. Maybe somebody would have said around the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah.
They got it nicked and they paid the price.
Back underway on Talksport 2. QPR 1, West Brom 0. 20 minutes have elapsed. There'll be a bit to add on at the end of the first half for that treatment administered to Alex Palmer, who looks on as Alex Mowat. Plays the ball back into the centre circle for Cedric Kipre. Square ball for Eric Peters. Gives the ball to Mowat just inside the QPR half. Reach is making a run down the left-hand side. He checks in field just to get away from Smith for a moment. Gives it back to Mowat. Inside left channel. Lovely ball into the area. Headed clear by Steve Cook. Only half cleared by the QPR midfield, and West Brom have it back inside the QPR half. But in the end, Peters elects to go all the way back to his keeper under pressure from the big man up front, Michael Frey. 1-0 QPR.
Again, you know, West Brom, you know, they are lacking that talisman up front. I think Jed Wallace does really well. He reminds me a little bit of Jared Bowen, really. You know, he gives 100% playing in there. It's not his ideal position, but he plays it, and he will sacrifice himself for the team. He's coming a little bit too short at times, but when he does get the ball up there, he can run in behind. So he's certainly a target behind the last defender. But they haven't really got any ball into him at the moment.
Now down the left-hand side, Adam Reach for West Brom. Chops in field. Taken over by Mikey Johnston. Down the left-hand side. But he can't keep it in play, and he had the last touch. It's out of play for a QPR throw in their right-back position. Middlesbrough have equalised against 10-man Norwich. That's now 1-1. Marcus Force with the equaliser at the Riverside. Cardiff 1-0 up on Huddersfield. Swansea 1-0 up at Watford. And Manchester City 2 goals to the good against Copenhagen. And in the Women's League Cup semi-final, Arsenal's women 4-0 up against Aston Villa. QPR 1, West Brom 0 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Pressure ramps up with every goal that goes in the Championship. Every goal means something. Every match means something. Fantastic climax in store across the Talksport network. So many stories will unfold. It's going to be fantastic. QPR clip the ball long downfield, looking for Field, the goal scorer, but it's one black comfortably by his old club. And in it goes to Eric Peters, once of Stoke City, who has never scored for West Bromwich Albion. Played the last 5, actually, Eric Peters, in the absence of a number of first-choice centre-halves, although it's interesting that he gets the nod ahead of Semi Ajayi, who's on the bench for West Brom tonight as a preferred centre-half, because we saw so much of him when he played for Tony Pulis at Stoke as a left-back, Alvin. Yeah,
and he's decent on the ball, Dancer. I know he's had dispossessed once tonight, but he is somebody that is reliable on the ball as a rule, and he's the way they play, they like to play short, they like to pick the passes into midfield, and he's ideal for that.
Anderson can't control the ball as it was fired into him in the QPR midfield, and West Brom have it back. Midway point of the first half on Talksport 2. QPR 1, West Brom 0. Reach lays it off to Mowat inside his own half. Gets up to the edge of the centre circle, plays a ball backwards of square for Cedric Kipre, and it's slid out to the right-hand side, and a chance for Tom Fellows to maybe have a run down that far right-hand side, but he elects to cut in field and give it back to Kipre, and then Peters in the centre circle. Mowat looks for Reach down this near side, and Mikey Johnston level with the edge of the area, jinking in field. This is where he took the shot against Coventry, and he's done it again! Mikey Johnston makes it 4 goals for West Brom, and almost a carbon copy of the goal he scored against Coventry, but this time he goes for the near post rather than the far. Wrong foot Asmir Begovic, and the Baggies fans in the school end go wild, and it's all silence elsewhere. QPR have been pegged back by mighty Mikey Johnston. It is QPR 1, West Brom 1.
Well, QPR really should be keeping him on his left foot. As soon as he cuts in on his right, he's still got a lot to do, but I tell you what, doesn't he do it well? He strikes it really well, and I think he catches the post as it goes in. No chance whatsoever for Begovic. It really was a wonderful strike.
Pretty much from the same place, maybe a little further in field from where he scored against Coventry on Talksport 2 last Friday night, but he went for the far corner at the Hawthorns. He almost gave Asmir Begovic the eyes and then went for the near post. Brilliant strike from Mikey Johnston. It's all square on Talksport 2.
I was just about to say as well, you know, 3 or 4 minutes ago, we haven't really seen anything of Johnston and Fellows, the wide players for West Brom, but we have now. Oh, that was one quality strike. Brilliant.
Really hit with such great power, and he's become a fan's favourite already with the travelling West Brom support, the Celtic loanee. Here he is again, working the ball in field, gets it back midway point of the QPR half, gives it in field to Okaya Kuzlu. Now Furlong out to the right-hand side, and Fellows looking to take on Parle, drives for the byline, plays the cross in, might drop for Diangana, 2-1. What a turnaround for West Bromwich Albion, and inside 2 minutes they've scored 2 brilliant goals. This one lashed home by Grady Diangana. The cross from the right from Fellows wasn't cut out. Diangana took a touch, steadied himself, and larruped it past Begovic. What a turnaround, and QPR, having been in front, 4 behind. West Brom 2-1 up.
Well, I've got to say, it's a wonderful strike again from West Brom's point of view. He finishes so well. He got his first touch and he got the shot away really quickly. But there were 3 QPR defenders standing, statues. That's what they were. They were statues. Nobody really got enough pressure on him. And you know, they've turned the game around in 30 seconds. 2 goals, 2 great strikes from their point of view. But the second one, QPR really will feel they should have done better.
And Grady Diangana did really well, just under a bit of pressure. He wasn't quite steady on his feet, but he managed to get the ball out of his feet with the first touch.
His first touch was absolutely immaculate, Dance, and that's what gave him the chance of actually getting the shot away. If his first touch ain't absolutely perfect there, he doesn't get the shot away. But really, he's got to be under more pressure.
2-2 for West Bromwich Albion, and they lead at Loftus Road. But here come QPR. Field again inside the box, wins a corner off Kipre. Very tight angle. It was almost at the corner of the 6-yard box where Field got the shot away. It's behind at the school end for a QPR corner. They're 4th of the half, but they now trail 2-1 here against West Brom.
But it's taking this thing out of the game from West Brom's point of view. But look, you know, it's a QPR team that has turned the corner. Confidence-wise, they should have enough really to keep going. Now the crowd will still be on side. Very important, you know, that they keep focused.
Anderson's corner for QPR into the near post, and there's a foul on a West Brom player. Dejan Garner was the man fouled inside the box, and so it's a free kick to the visitors as Middlesbrough have turned it around against 10-man Norwich. Middlesbrough 2, Norwich 1. Emmanuel Latelat gets the second, prodding home from close range. A few running repairs for Jed Wallace. Fresh pair of boots been handed to the West Brom number 7. And also Carlos Corberán just doing a bit of impromptu coaching on this near touchline, having a word with Messrs Fellows and Johnston. And he is all action, Carlos Corberán. He's got ants in his pants from minute 1 when he's down there in the cynical area. FC Copenhagen get a goal back. Former Southampton player Mo Elyounoussi makes it Manchester City 2, Copenhagen 1, but that's still 5-2 on aggregate to Pep Guardiola's men. And we're back underway, and Wallace is just waiting to come back onto the field. Now he's got his fresh footwear on. He's back on. We're back to 11 against 11. And West Brom, what a response to going behind. 2 goals in 2 minutes to lead here at Loftus Road against, let's not forget, what has been a resurgent Queen's Park Rangers in recent weeks. But they're 3 unbeaten away, West Brom, and they've been a very consistent side all season. Lovely crossfield pass to pick out Johnson, who jinks in field. Paul Smith trying to stick to him. Johnson brings it further towards the edge of the centre circle and then plays a little square ball for Kipre. Kipre moves away from Chair, but then Field putting Kipre under pressure. Does well though, Kipre holds on to it, and it's worked out to Adam Reach on this left-hand side. Ball in field deflects off Anderson into the path of Johnston, who then wins a throw down the left-hand side for the Baggies.
I think it's a time, it's that sort of game you've got to show the mental toughness. You know, we've seen QPR take the lead, and they've shown a fabulous response, haven't they, West Brom? Got themselves 2 quick goals to take the lead, and that's all down to, you know, that mental toughness that you think, okay, we don't want to concede, but if we do, it's not the end of the world. And you know, they've responded so well.
That's Alvin Martin, former West Ham centre-half and England centre-half as well, alongside me, Ian Danter, here at Loftus Road. Wednesday night in the Championship on Talksport 2. Cardiff Huddersfield, that's 1-0 at half-time to the Bluebirds at the Cardiff City Stadium. Huddersfield, one of those teams very much in trouble at the foot of the Championship. Now Tom Fellows giving chase gamely to a ball that was rolling along the touchline towards the corner flag. He never quite caught it up, but he didn't give it up either.
No, he's got so much energy. He makes me feel tired watching him, Fellows. He'll just keep going and going down that right-hand side. He's such a great team player.
Academy graduate for West Brom. He's got 4 goals this season, so he's been an important part with so many players missing for West Brom, particularly in those attacking areas. We've mentioned Thomas Asante being absent. DK hasn't scored this season because he's had so many injury problems. John Swift is amongst the substitutes, and he's got 7 goals this season, but he's now been joined on that tally by Dejan Garner with that goal that has West Brom in front here. QPR 1, West Brom 2, if you're just tuning in to Talksport 2. Frey gives chase, but he will be not able to get there in time. Ball's out of play for a West Brom throw. So it's back to Marty Cifuentes, the QPR manager, as to what to do, because Carlos Corberán's players have affected this very quick turnaround.
I think what you can see in the openings of this game, Dan, is that you've got obviously a West Brom team have got different targets, haven't they, for their season? Promotion, playoffs at least, I would have thought. Was obviously it's QPR's survival, and I think it has shown in terms of the confidence that both teams play with.
Ball sent up to halfway. Johnson with a somewhat lazy back heel that allowed Paul Smith to bring it away for QPR. Anderson, right-hand side, whips the ball into the box. It deflects up in the air. Headed out by Furlong, but it'll be picked up by Clark Salter. Works it out to Chair on the left-hand side for QPR. Faced up by Furlong. Whips a right-footed ball in. Good clearance on the half volley by Mowat, but it's back with QPR once again. Driven across the face of goal, and Palmer can say, just leave it. It's been hit too hard by Field from that left-hand side. And it's a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion away to our right in front of their supporters, who will be delighted so far to have seen their team come from behind to lead here. 12 minutes to half-time. It's QPR 1, West Brom 2.
I mean, QPR, they started the game cautiously. They took the lead, and now they're 2-1 down. I think they've gone back into that little cautious sort of approach here, and they're going to have to pick and choose their times when they do commit forward, because if they turn over the ball, you can see that West Brom do have a little bit about them. They've got a lot of pace up front, and they're more than capable of adding to the scoreline.
Give you an as it stands table. QPR and Huddersfield would stay on 38 points, level with Stoke, who are in that final relegation spot, also on 38, and Sheffield Wednesday, who are second bottom on 38. Well, that's a lax header from Adam Reach. He was trying to head the ball back to his West Brom goalkeeper Alex Palmer, but headed it straight out for a corner kick to QPR. 2-1 West Brom.
Fairly standard header, that, isn't it? What he was doing there, I do not know.
So it will be once again Lucas Anderson to take what will be QPR's 5th corner of the half. Right-footed outswinger where the school end meets the main stand, just down beneath us. You can't quite see Lucas Anderson from our commentary position, from this really tight main stand that we're sat in. He will emerge into view as he clips the corner in. It's gone to around the penalty spot. Up went Hayden, and he got something on it. Did that take a touch off a West Brom player? In fact, there's a West Brom player who's gone down, Cedric Kipre, who's lying flat on his face in his own penalty area because he collided with Hayden. Ball's gone out for a goal kick, and Kipre very slowly getting back to his feet. It's half-time elsewhere in the Championship. Watford 0, Swansea 1, Middlesbrough 2, Norwich 1, Norwich down to 10, and Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 0. So I was mentioning, you've got 4 teams on 38 points as things stands, with Huddersfield and QPR losing at the moment. Stoke and Sheffield Wednesday also on 38. Don't forget, on Friday night, Sheffield Wednesday play Leeds United live on Talksport 2. It's our way to kick off the weekend with live EFL football in the Yorkshire Derby from Hillsborough. Swansea, with the win they're getting at Watford, they're going above Watford into 13th. Luke Williams starting to, another young coach actually, Alvin. And Luke Williams starting to work the oracle with his new club, having left Notts County. Ball's out of play for a West Bromwich Albion throw in their right back position, to be taken by Darnell Furlong, who needs an option, doesn't really have one at the moment for West Brom, and Yokuslu now comes short, gives it back to the fullback, and Furlong clips it up to the halfway, and that was Steve Cook with a very uncompromising challenge to make sure Grady Diangana got nowhere near that. Alvin Martin loved that.
Oh,
took him right back to take it on Stan Bowles in a trial match, right?
He didn't even bother appealing, did he?
No.
Diangana.
It was a bit of a mismatch height-wise, and here is Steve Cook playing the ball to Jimmy Dunn. Finds Paul Smith just over the halfway line, tight to this near touchline. Wins a throw. Anderson wants to take it quickly. He spotted the run of Field, getting into the area right-hand side, tries to hook it back across the face of goal. It's gone behind Chair, and Yokuslu very calmly brings it down, pirouettes away from one challenge and finds Mowat just outside the West Brom area, and they will clear up to halfway. Neat football from the visitors, and Jed Wallace sees him slid into by Isaac Hayden. Challenge that the QPR fans loved as it went out for a throw. 2-1 West Brom. Field
did really well going into the West Brom penalty area. It didn't really have too much on. All he could do was put the ball and help it back into a danger zone, and unfortunately for him and QPR, nobody was in the vicinity, but he did really well to get into that position.
8 minutes of the first half remaining, plus whatever Jeff Elchingham wants to add on for stoppages. There will be at least a minute or two with the head injury picked up by Alex Palmer in the wake of QPR's opening goal. Remember, West Brom now 2-1 up with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Here's the man that scored the first, Johnston, cross into the box, but that's a good claim from Asmir Begovic, and he bowls it out over on trying to get Ilias Chair away inside the West Brom half, but Kipre was there first and calmly rolls it back to his goalkeeper Palmer, whose pass only just evaded Ilias Chair at the edge of the area, and up to halfway it goes. Here's Diangana.
So there you see the reward for taking a risk, though. When you do it properly, look, they've got the ball now in a really good position.
Fellows, right-hand corner of the box, gives it back to Diangana. Little first-time pass for Furlong. Former QPR man, right-hand corner of the box, plays it in field to Diangana. Then it's played across to Adam Reach at the left-hand corner of the box. Johnson again. They're showing him in on his right foot, and he clips the ball beyond Tom Fellows, who was his intended target right-hand side of the area, and it's gone behind for a QPR goal kick. QPR 1, West Brom 2 on Talksport 2. Here's Alvin Martin.
Well, he's playing on the left, Johnson, and he scored a wonderful goal to get West Brom back in the game, and they've scored a second and now lead 2-1. But you know, you can see he goes both ways. I think he looks stronger when he's coming in on his right foot, Dancer, and that's how he got the goal, wasn't it? Wonderful strike with his right foot. But he has proved he can go left as well. But if I was to fall back up against him, I'd make sure I stopped him going inside. He's stronger on his inside.
Well, here is West Brom in possession with Alex Mowat, just ahead of the centre circle inside the QPR half. Furlong out to Fellows on the right-hand side, up against Powell, who gets a good foot in, actually, Kenneth Powell. And Ilias Chair scurries away with the ball at his feet. Anderson just ahead of him on the halfway line. Good feet from Lucas Anderson. He's got Jimmy Dunn calling for it on this near side. Dunn moving forward, right-hand side, plenty of green grass to run into. Just chops back onto his left at the right-hand corner of the area. Went for goal, and it took a touch off a West Brom player and ricocheted out for yet another corner in this first half at the score end for QPR, but they trail 2-1.
It was a good break, wasn't it? You know, it really was. They worked it. You know, they broke down an attack on the edge of their own penalty area and ended up getting a corner at the other end, and he does really well there. But they get bodies forward. I think Anderson has caught the eye. He's somebody that is willing to hold on to the ball, knows how to pick out a pass. So they're still very much in this game.
Yeah, he's got a very silky way about him, Lucas Anderson, the man from Aalborg, and he's going to take the corner kick on the far side of the field, right-footed into the near post. Good header cleared by Mowat, but it'll be picked up by Paul Smith. Right-hand corner of the area for QPR, driving for the byline against Diangana, cross to the far post, headed out by Yokuslu, and then brought away further clear by Mowat, but then he almost gives possession up, and Michael Frey just pushes his man over to try and get onto the ball 25 yards out. I think that was probably Jeff Eltringham's easiest decision all night to give that free kick to West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty woeful appeal there, wasn't it, by Frey?
I won the ball, ref, he said, but he was absolutely nowhere near it, and 2 hands in the back of his opponent. So we're into the last 5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. QPR 1, West Brom 2. West Brom in possession with Darnell Furlong down the far side of the field. Gets it back from Fellows. Wallace had made a lovely run in the inside right channel, but wasn't used. Now he's just coming back from an offside position as West Brom work it back to the halfway line, and Eric Peters. Just to his right is Kipre, gives it back to Peters under pressure from Michael Frey. And Peters just trickling back into his own half, and Anderson pushed up and forced him to give the ball all the way back to Alex Palmer. Palmer pretends he's going to hoof it downfield, then plays it short to Yokuslu. Kipre looks for Furlong down the right-hand side of West Brom. They do look very composed in possession.
Yeah. They look a well-coached side, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They all know what the manager wants from them. They're all passing the ball, don't stand still, they all make another angle.
Well, I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Carlos Corberán. When I watch him on the touchline, he's all action. If you do something wrong, he'd tell you. Lovely little flick from Fellows to get Jed Wallace away down the inside right channel. Just has to turn away from the QPR penalty area for the moment and work it back in field to Yokuslu. Diangana dispossessed, and away come QPR. It's Lucas Anderson again. Frey to his left, Smith to his right, and square is Ilias Chair, and he gets it back from field. Powell making an overlapping run on the left-hand side, midway point of the West Brom half, and he gives it back to Ilias Chair, who just drops his shoulder, comes in field into the centre of the West Brom half, plays a square ball to Dunn. Now Smith, level with the West Brom penalty area, right-hand side, faced up by Adam Reach. Tries to go on the outside of Reach. Feints to cross, works it back to Anderson. First time ball, deep to the far post, and Furlong heads it behind. Corner number 7 of this first half for QPR, who trail 2-1 here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, Anderson, another good ball, calculated, just put it into the area that, you know, you expect somebody to be attacking it. Maybe just a little too high for Frey, but somebody really should have been coming in on that far post. You know, you'd be asking the question, if you delivered a ball like that, why somebody wasn't.
Well, Chair's going to take this corner kick where the Stanley Bowl stand meets the school end over on the far side of the field. Another right-footed in-swinger, packed 6-yard box right into the crossbar, but it's actually, in the end, a very comfortable claim for Alex Palmer, the West Brom keeper, who barely had to jump to get that into his grasp. 2-1 the Baggies.
Yeah, again, they've got a lot of people in there. You know, some height, haven't they? QPR probably got, you know, advantage in height, certainly, but you know, it's not worth anything unless your delivery isn't right.
Into the last 2 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half on Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. Pressure ramping up, 10 games to go after this for most teams in the Championship. So much to be decided, and only so many playoff spots, relegation spots can be filled. Palmer, the West Brom keeper, plays a short pass inside his own area to Peters, who under pressure from field, he's given it away. And here's Lucas Anderson at the edge of the area, rolls it into Chair, deflected shot, yet another QPR corner. Ilias Chair let fly from just inside the D, but West Brom got a foot in. Kipre, I think, made the challenge. 2-1 Albion.
But again, it's an area really that if you are going to play there, you've got to be better at it. You know, that's a poor ball inside, isn't it, by Reach? It really is a poor ball. And again, they're fortunate. Good challenge, you say, there by Kipre, but that could have gone anywhere. They've had a lot of corners, haven't really made the most of them.
Anderson with the latest of them. Drops just on the edge of the area. Ilias Chair looking for his option, slides it in to Anderson, right-hand side of the box. Another corner. It goes out, this time off Eric Peters. 9th corner of the half for Queen's Park Rangers, with 30 seconds of normal time to go in this first half, plus whatever the referee wants to add on.
Won't be much.
Lucas Anderson, once again with a right-footed corner into the near post. Frey tried to get a touch. It's another corner. Make that 10. Double figures of corner kicks in this first half for the hosts. But not one of those 9 previous ones have really caused any flurries inside the box. Here it comes from Anderson again. Hits the first defender. And we're moving into added time at the end of this first half. Ball played into the area and hooked way over the top by Sam Field, and we're into 6 minutes of minimum added time, and most of that is for that long injury to the West Brom keeper in the aftermath of QPR's opening goal. QPR 1, West Brom 2.
Yeah, I think he'll be delighted, won't he, Corberan? You know, the fact that you know he wouldn't have wanted to concede early on, but the response from his team has been brilliant from that moment on. They've taken command of the game, controlled the large proportion of it. I think they finished quite strong towards the end of the half, though. Credit to them, QPR.
Well, the corner count alone tells you how much on the front foot they've been, but not one of those corners has done what you would want if you were a manager, Alvin.
I just feel it's been either too close to the keeper, or you know, not with enough intent on it. You know, it's been, a lot of them have hit the first man, haven't they? So certainly, the quality is something that he'll certainly be wanting an improvement in the QPR coach.
QPR win the ball back again on halfway. Ilias Chair drifting into the centre of the half. Drops his shoulder to get away from Yokuzlu. Gets to the edge of the area, drifting out to the right-hand side. Still going. Tries to play it across the face of goal, and Peters got a vital foot in at the near post. West Brom clear their lines. And Johnston just knocks it back to Reach, the left back.
He's got a long list. I
under
support
pressure,
it.
gives the
Well,
ball
let
in
me tell you,
field.
you're a conspiracy theorist,
by Mowat,
and the left
plays
and
it
the
up to the
media
halfway
spreads
line,
more
but
conspiracy
Wallace
theories.
can't keep hold of
We like
that,
the truth.
and it
We
goes
like
out of play
supporting
for a
our
throw.
Constitution,
QPR,
our
in
freedom,
fairness to them,
and America
are
first.
closing
So
down the
Jewish
space as
space
much as
lasers?
possible to
Tell
make
us about
that
Jewish
quick
space.
passing
why
movement
don't
of West Brom as
you
difficult
go
as
talk
possible.
about Jewish space lasers?
Anderson
And really, why don't
plays
you
the ball in
fuck off?
field
How about that?
to Sam
Thank you
Field.
very much. Thank you.
Incidentally, 0-0 between Real Madrid and Leipzig at half-time in the Champions League. That was 1-0 to Real from the first leg in Germany. Steve Cook for QPR. We're into the 3rd minute of 6 that have been added on at the end of this first half. QPR 1, West Brom 2. Cook, diagonal ball right to left, looking to seek out Kenneth Powell down the left-hand side, but Furlong got a firm header to it. Fellows trying to keep it in play, gives it away. Here's Sam Field, left-hand corner of the area for QPR. Parle on his outside. Chair wants it left-hand corner of the area, receives it now. Faced up by Fellows. Thought about whipping the ball in right-footed. He'll do that now. Might break for Hayden at the edge of the area. Takes the touch, lays it into Anderson. Anderson rolls his foot on the ball. Tries to give it to Chair. Chair can get it, but he's had to run outside the area. Anderson, lovely drop of the shoulder. Down the left-hand side. Chair again onto his right. Whips the ball in. Frey with a header, puts it wide. Big chance for Michael Frey. And he knows he should have done better. It's a goal kick to West Bromwich Albion, and it stays QPR 1, West Brom 2.
Yeah, it's not an easy one, this, Dancer. It's good delivery by Chair, but he's past the near post. And it's a really difficult one. You've got to get an absolute perfect contact on it. Just the slightest of touches. He gets that, you know, too much on it, really, and it's not being able to redirect it in. But at least it's delivery in, and it's a QPR player getting ahead on the ball inside the box, and they've had a lot of delivery in there that they haven't got on the end of.
He has scored already for QPR since his move from Royal Antwerp in the transfer window. Swiss player. Manchester City have a third. And yep, Erling Haaland's got his customary goal of the night. Manchester City 3, Copenhagen 1. Live on Talksport right now, that's 6-2 on aggregate to Manchester City. West Brom 2-1 up and attacking. Down this left-hand side with Mikey Johnston, who scored their equaliser. Down the left-hand side of the area. Again, Jimmy Dunn shows him inside, but there were plenty of blue and white hoop shirts back. Isaac Hayden overhits the ball intended for Frey on halfway, and it just goes over the striker's head and out of play for a West Brom throw on the far side. 4 minutes of added time played. QPR 1, West Brom 2. Alvin Martin.
Well, they switched off their QPR. You know, they're throwing West Brom on the halfway line, and they've let Dean Garner receive a ball, get himself turned, and then play a ball out to a real danger man on this left-hand side in Johnston. You could hear the wail that went round the ground. You know, all the supporters knew that should never happen.
And now West Brom have suddenly been presented with their first corner of the game after Kenneth Parle inadvertently headed it over the dead ball line, and Mikey Johnston is getting a few ill-mannered boos as he goes over to that far corner where the loft end meets the Stanley Bowles stand to take West Brom's first corner of the night. Be a right-footed outswinger. QPR, bit of zonal marking around the edge of the 6-yard box, and there's a clutch of West Brom players around the penalty spot, all being tightly marked. Johnson, right-footed, whips it into the near post. It goes beyond Darnell Furlong. Anderson half clears, but nobody on halfway for QPR. So Peters and Fellows between them tidy up, and it's worked all the way back to the keeper, Alex Palmer. He hoofs it right-footed downfield, but everyone had dropped a little too deep for him in West Brom dark blue, so it drifts through to Asmir Begovic. We're into that last minute of the minimum 6 that referee added for stoppages at the end of this first half. Can QPR create one last opportunity to try and get themselves level before the break on Talksport 2? It's with Steve Cook. Square ball for Clark Salter. Now Ilias Chair, the man most likely for QPR, goes on the outside of Fellows down the left wing, across the face of goal, and it's well held at his near post by Alex Palmer. And there goes the half-time whistle. And West Bromwich Albion have the advantage, but they went behind here against a QPR side who are desperate to get themselves clear of trouble at the bottom of the Championship. And it was a former baggy, Sam Field, that gave QPR the lead on 17 minutes. Little cross across the area from Lucas Anderson, tucked into the back of the net from close range by Field. But then West Brom got 2 goals in 2 minutes. First, Mikey Johnson made it 4 goals on loan from Celtic, crashing home a right-footed shot off the inside of the post to beat Begovic on 25 minutes. And then on 27, Fellows crossed from the right, found its way through to Grady Diangana. Great touch to set himself. He lashed it home with the second. QPR have forced 10 corners in that first half. None of them have really caused too many problems, but that shows, Alvin Martin, that despite the fact that QPR are behind, they are on the front foot here.
I think both teams will have gone in at half-time encouraged, but certainly West Brom have have showed that they've got that little bit more style, a little bit more class about them, Dance, more control. I think they control the large proportions of the game. Take risks, obviously, around the edge of the box. That's where QPR will feel that if they are going to get something from this game, they can maybe force errors at the back. But they do have a little bit more in terms of pace and certainly execution of chances over QPR. And the two finishes in that first half were exceptionally good from West Brom's point of view.
And this signing of Mikey Johnston on loan from Celtic, it looks, I mean, we've seen some really good signings in the January window in the Championship. Kiefer Moore at Ipswich looks a particularly good capture, but this young lad from Celtic has made himself into a bit of a hero already for the Baggies faithful.
And I think that's where, you know, they look like they've got an extra little bit of ability in artillery. West Brom, when you look at their front four, fellows on the right hand side is full of energy, willingness to run. Johnson, as you said, he's got himself a great goal, but the ball comes to him and he's got the ball in such good areas on the edge of the box, one-on-one against Dunn, and he's a handful. You know, he can go left, he can go right, and then you've got Wallace up front who's got a finish in him. He's somebody that is more than adequate at playing people in or playing in behind himself. And Dear Garner, who got the second goal, a wonderful finish from him, and he's capable of turning the game as well.
Game's in the balance here. QPR led, but they are behind at the break here at Loftus Road. We'll bring you full exclusive national radio commentary of the second half here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. The halftime score here at the Loft is QPR 1, West Bromwich Albion 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Bring on the unbeatable strike partnership of McNuggets and Dip. Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
It's almost Easter, so it's time to pick up some M&S collection Easter eggs for the people you really like. For your favourite relative, perhaps the hand-decorated Belgian milk chocolate nutty egg? For the person you want to woo, the Belgian milk chocolate champagne egg with champagne truffles. Or, here's an idea, you could just buy one for yourself. I'm going to. These are not just Easter eggs. These are M&S collection Easter eggs, subject to availability, selected stores.
Modern football is all about control. Controlling the ball, controlling possession, controlling the game. If you ever feel that gambling is starting to control you, help is available right now at talkbanstop.com. Thousands of people have taken advantage of free support and practical tools, like GamBan, which blocks your devices from accessing gambling websites and apps, and GamStop, which will stop you signing up to any UK-registered gambling website. Take control of your recovery. Search TalkBanStop.
You alright, mate?
Oh, no, my boiler's knackered. Do you know any plumbers?
Yeah, I do, yeah. You know Danny? Well, he lives next door to this woman who's engaged to this lady who went to school with a bloke called Gary.
All right. Is he a plumber?
No, he's not, no. But he knows a bloke who walks a dog with this woman. Debbie, I think she's called. Well, she gets her hair cut with Sam.
Don't worry. You already know somebody who fixes boilers. British Gas. And you don't even have to be one of our customers. Our engineers are local, and their work is guaranteed for 12 months. Search British Gas Boiler Repairs.
So, is he a plumber? Well, technically, no. But he's got a van.
Join the nation in cinching it. Buy your perfect car online. And get first-class assistance from start to finish.
Your new car, madam?
With friendly customer service available 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Cinch. How can I help you?
An expert walkthrough of your new car when it's delivered. And a faff-free 14-day money-back guarantee. Hardly surprising Cinch is rated excellent on Trustpilot. So join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Returns subject to mileage restrictions, T's and C's apply.
Don't break your stride. Hurry to Screwfix for unmissable deals on trade essentials. Time for a drill upgrade? Save £30 on the DeWalt cordless combi, now only $169.99. And why get caught short of power when you can get a great deal on a Master Plug 20-metre cable reel, now just $40.99. Shop now on the app, at screwfix.com or in store. Delivery fees may apply. Prices valid until at least April 1st, subject to availability. See screwfix.com for full T's and C's.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
Live Super League. Hull Kingston Rovers versus Warrington Wolves.
He's racing forward, goes 90 metres.
Tomorrow evening from 8 on Talksport 2.
The sun climbing up over Cleve Hill. The course coming alive. We're at the Cheltenham Festival. Oh yes. Woke up in Cheltenham feeling fine. 4 days of racing and drinking wine. Socialising quite a bit more than I probably should. Oh yeah. Something tells me I'm on to something good.
Talksport Superstar Breakfast, live from the Cheltenham Festival.
I don't know about you, Ding Dong Bell, but I'm definitely onto something good.
Starts this Monday on Talksport. Always drink responsibly.
BeGambleAware.org.
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Pressure ramps up with every goal that goes in the Championship. Every goal means something. Every match means something. Cher wins it back. Going to go for goal from 30 yards. Palmer spills it. Comes out to Frey. Goes down. Anderson across the facing goal. And Sam Field has tucked it home for Queen's Park Rangers. And Mikey Johnston, level with the edge of the area, jinking in field. This is where he took the shot against Coventry. And he's done it again. Mikey Johnson makes it 4 goals for West Brom.
I think it catches the post as it goes in. No chance whatsoever for Begovic. It really was a wonderful strike.
Fellows looking to take on Parle, drives for the byline, plays the cross in, might drop for Diangana, 2-1. What a turnaround for West Bromwich Albion. And inside 2 minutes, they've scored 2 brilliant goals. And QPR, having been in front, 4 behind. West Brom 2-1 up. This is Talksport 2, your home of the EFL half-time here at Loftus Road. Queen's Park Rangers 1, West Bromwich Albion 2 on this very emotional night for QPR fans as they remember the late great Stan Bowles and members of that 1975-76 squad like Frank McClintock and Jerry Francis and Dave Thomas are out there just being interviewed at the moment on the pitch about their memories of Stan. And they're trying to do his memory proud here, the current QPR team, but they are behind here to playoff chasing West Bromwich Albion. Full second half commentary to come here over on Talksport. Currently half time between Manchester City and FC Copenhagen in the second leg of their last 16 tie in the Champions League. This is how the first half sounded on Talksport with your commentary team Jim Proudfoot and the former Man City manager Stuart Pearce.
So this first City corner is going to be taken by Julian Alvarez. He's got Oscar Bob as a target inside the 6-yard box. Lewis waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Rodri's forward. And there are another 4 attacking this from deeper positions inside the penalty area. And he's volleyed in. It's a magnificent finish. Just came down to Akanji standing by the penalty spot. And he's thrown a right-footed it. Fired it into the top right-hand corner. As the corner comes in. Oh, it's hit the bar. From Rodri's header at the far post. Deeper delivery. Then as it's rifled in, it is in for 2. Right through the goalkeeper, Grabara. Hot shot that was too hot to handle from Julian Alvarez. And here Copenhagen will bring the ball forward with El Yunusi. El Yunusi snipping a ball inside the area, getting the return ball and firing it into the bottom right-hand corner. That's a goal of real quality from Moy El Yunusi. And Copenhagen have one of the 4 that they need back. Haaland getting the ball onto his left foot, and he tried a shot towards the bottom left-hand corner, which took a huge deflection, a wrong foot, the goalkeeper. But Erling Haaland scores again, number 29 of the season, and City go 3-1 up in first half stoppage time.
So that makes it 6-2 on aggregate to the Citizens at the break. Full second half commentary of that game over on Talksport with Jim and Stuart. Adrian Durham is there as well. And then don't forget, once all of tonight's action is done and dusted, then you can get in touch on the Sports Bar on Talksport from 10 o'clock with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Not only can you call them, but you can also send WhatsApp messages or voice notes to our usual number, 03717 22 33 44. I've just noticed that Watford have equalised in the second half at home to Swansea. That's 1-1 at Vicarage Road. We'll keep you in touch with all goals going in around the EFL tonight. Of course, Southampton against Preston was postponed because of a big fire in an industrial unit just next to St Mary's Stadium that was really out of control early part of the afternoon, and I think the air quality would have been a real problem for spectators as well as players, of course, and that's why that game is postponed. A new date will be arranged for that in due course. Tomorrow, live here on Talksport 2, we've got Europa League action for you. Sparta Prague host Liverpool. That's a 5:45 kickoff. Joe Shannon and the former Chelsea defender Scott Minto on commentary duty for you. Let's hear from a former Liverpool captain, Jordan Henderson, now at Ajax. He wished his former manager Jurgen Klopp well and hopes that they can win it all come the end of the season.
It was a tough one when you first see it. You know, Jurgen's had an amazing time at Liverpool. Everything we achieved really was because of him. You know, he changed everything when he came in, and I just hope the end of the story is a fairy tale for him and the boys and the club, because you know they all deserve it. They all worked so hard. Last season was so tough on many different aspects of it, you know, off the field, on the field. So for this season to be going as well as it has, I'm so proud of them. You know, I was the captain for a long time there. You know, all of the team still feel like my best friends, like my brothers, really, for life. So to watch them do so well, I'm so proud how well they're doing, and I just really want to see them end the season like they've been playing the whole year, really, with the young players coming in as well. I just hope they can end the season on a high and win as many trophies as possible.
So that's Jordan Henderson chatting about Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. So Sparta Prague, Liverpool, 5:45 kickoff in the Europa League round of 16, live on Talksport. And at 8 o'clock over on Talksport 2, rather, of this channel for Sparta Prague, Liverpool, I beg your pardon. And then Freiburg against Alvin Martin's West Ham United at 8 o'clock. That's live on Talksport tomorrow night. And West Ham just keep on, you know, plodding along, Alvin, your old club.
Yeah, I think maybe a corner's been turned, Dance. You know, there was a couple of big wins, really, and you know that, you know how quick you can get into rotten football. A couple of wins, you know, get you going again, and then you look back and you think, oh, what was all the fuss about? You know, so hopefully from that point of view, you know, West Ham can give a good account of themselves tomorrow and on Thursday, and then move on. Look, it's only what QPR are trying to do now. West Brom, you have setbacks along the way. You have a run. People start pointing fingers, and you know, you stick together, you come out of it. I think, you know, that seems to be what's happening here at QPR. But what they've got to do is put a 45 minutes in now that is going to at least take a point. If they get a point from this game, then you know the run carries on, and the belief then is still there going into the next game. Yeah, a few substitutes, just having a little bit of pass and move for QPR out there. Martin Cifuentes might be tempted to make changes. It's Wesley Hurt that equalised for Watford, incidentally, against Swansea. So 1-1 at Vicarage Road. Elsewhere in Europe tomorrow, just a reminder, Brighton go to Roma at 5:45 in the Europa League. That's a great tie in prospect for Roberto De Zerbi. And Rangers take on a Benfica side in Lisbon, who got walloped by their great rivals Porto at the weekend by 5-0. And in the Conference League, Ajax against Aston Villa is a tea-time kickoff. Updates of that on Talksport from Amsterdam. That's, of course, the game that Jordan Henderson will be taking part in. Middlesbrough 3, Norwich City 1. Middlesbrough with 1 win in 8 in all competitions. I think they'll be breathing a little easier now, Alvin. Lucas Engel gets the 3rd against Norwich, and that's good news for West Brom that Norwich are losing. Yeah, I think there's going to be a few ups and downs and twists and turns in this division. Look, the Premier League's great at the moment. You know, you've got like obviously a battle going on there at the top, which is always great to see in any division, but especially in the Premier League. But this division has got like so much going on, top and bottom. Yeah. That, you know, this is the pick of the bunch. If you look at the stories for some emotional sort of escapes, you know, and teams coming in, you know, there's plenty of teams there that maybe can still fancy themselves, certainly for the playoffs. I think it looks like the top 2 are going to have a little too much for everybody else. But, you know, even Keenan McKenna said his players at times are looking a little bit tired. You know, it only takes 2 or 3 games, doesn't it, for, you know, the whole complexion of the league to change. Well, as it stands, West Brom will be on 62 points with 10 games to go, and they'll be 5 clear of Hull. And
7 clear of Norwich, who are losing heavily at Middlesbrough. Both sets of players are back out, no changes at half-time, and West Brom in their dark blue shirts with the red flash from left shoulder to right hip are attacking the school end to our right-hand side, where the West Brom travelling support is. QPR in the blue and white hoop shirts, white shorts and socks, attacking the loft end to our immediate left as we sit in the main stand here at Loftus Road. So just to run you through the lineups for QPR: Begovic in goal, Dunn, Cook, Clark, Salter and Powell, Hayden and Field, Smith, Anderson, Cher and Frey. For West Brom, Palmer the keeper, Furlong, Kipre, Peters and Reach, Yokuslu and Mowat, and then Fellows, Diangana and Johnston behind Wallace in attack. No changes made then at the turnaround by either manager. Field trying to wrestle control of the ball for QPR down this near side. Quick feet for a moment from Paul Smith, but it's won back by West Brom, and then referee blows for a foul for the visitors. Little nibble, I think, at Darnell Furlong just shy of the halfway. It was Diangana, actually, in fact, that was brought down right in front of the QPR manager. That's a wry smile, Marty Cifuentes, as Diangana gets to his feet and trots away. And back it goes to Alex Palmer, still wearing that head bandage that he had put on his head after conceding that early goal to QPR. Ball pass straight out of play by West Brom. QPR want to get things going with a throw-in, but they have to go back into their own half. Cook will play a square ball for Clark Salter, immediately being closed down by Diangana. So out to this near side and Powell. Powell will go back to Cook. Good ball out to the right-hand side to find Paul Smith. Anderson's gone ahead of him. Won't get there because the ball just took a nick off a West Brom foot, and it's worked back to Alex Palmer. Frey trying to close down the space, but again a very calm pass from the West Brom keeper to Cedric Kipre. Furlong lost possession, and Cher brings it infield for QPR. He played a couple of minutes of the second half. Up to the edge of the area, Anderson out to the left wing. Powell, first time pullback. Oh, it's just in front of Ilias Cher, who couldn't pick it up, and West Brom can clear their lines. It was the right idea from Kenneth Powell to pull the ball back. Just didn't find a blue and white hoop shirt. West Brom still 2-1 up.
And there were enough of them in there. You know, they had, what, 5-6 players in there, QPR. You've got to be able to pick a player out when you're in that position there. You know, that's the difference between winning and losing games. You know, it's bodies picking up, having the composure and the precision of the pass. But the dilemma that they've got here, QPR, is trying to obviously get back in the game. 2-1 down at the moment. Certainly get on level terms without conceding, and it's not easy against a team like West Brom. When you think about the pace they've got up front, when you turn the ball over, you're a little vulnerable, and it's very uncomfortable.
Arsenal's women have beaten Aston Villa in the Women's League Cup semi-final. 4-0 the final score in that early kick-off. QPR in possession on this near side to us, their left, as they attack the loft end. Clark Salter gives the ball to Field, and he's pushed over by Yokuslu on halfway. He was trying to prevent the free kick being taken. It's been taken anyway, but slightly under hit with the intention to find Smith on the right-hand side. It will make its way through to the Northern Irishman, and he'll work it back into his own half for Cook. Square ball for Clark Salter. So Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 0, Middlesbrough 3, Norwich 1 and Watford 1, Swansea 1. The other games ongoing in the Championship at the moment. They're all about an hour in, I should imagine. QPR 1, West Brom 2 here on Talksport 2. Smith, right-hand side, will whip the ball in, takes the deflections. Yet another QPR corner. They're starting the second half as they did in the first by winning a corner kick. Let's see if the delivery's any better at the loft end from Lucas Anderson. 2-1 West Brom.
Well, it needs to be, but they have come out, you can see, with more intent. I think at half-time he probably would have gone amongst his players and asked for a little bit more desire, a little bit more urgency, and they've certainly shown that in the starting of this second half.
So Anderson with the corner where the loft end meets the Stanley Bowl stand, over on the far side to our left. There's one or two players just pulled away to the edge of the area. Smith is there. Thought about a pullback, but Anderson goes into the near post instead. Headed up and out by Fellows. Brought down by Ilias Cher. Lovely touch. Cher drives it goalwards. It's deflected out to Anderson. Hits it across the area. Claims for a handball. And the assistant says that's a penalty. And the referee points to the spot. And QPR have a spot kick for handball. I think it was Eric Peters, or was it Adam Reach actually, who handled it inside the area as Anderson sent the cross in. It wasn't originally given by Jeff Eltringham, but his assistant on that far side flagged, and it's a penalty for Queen's Park Rangers.
I always think they're harsh when they're actually played at the player. He's more or less turned his back on it, and it's hit his arm. I always think they're harsh. No doubt about it, it's hit his right arm. Whether it was intentional or not, that's where the argument will be. I don't think it was. And harsh as I may say it is, what a chance at the start of the second half for QPR now.
And Michael Frey has put the ball down. It looked like Sam Field was going to take it at first, but the ball-headed Swiss takes the responsibility. Frey saved by Palmer. Plunged to his left-hand side and made a great stop. Goes behind for a corner kick. And QPR blow the chance to get level at the start of the second half. Palmer with the save.
I think it's a very good save. I think he found the corner there, Frey. Bottom left-hand corner from the keeper's dive. But I think it didn't have enough power on it. It needed another little bit of oomph to get it over the line.
West Brom fans might say justice has been done there, but Anderson with a corner up to the edge of the area, brought down by Jimmy Dunn. Left-hand corner of the box, driving for the byline. Good ball across the face of goal. What a goal-line clearance from Kipre to deny Field. Amazing goal-line clearance from Cedric Kipre. It's another corner to QPR. How on earth did he keep that out?
Well, we've seen some wonderful finishes, but I tell you what, when you look at highlights, this is going to be up with their two finishes, because it's an incredible bit of defending by Kipre. I think it looked like he saved it first, Palmer, but I don't think he did. It was Kipre who got it over the bar.
Oh yeah, he got the lightest of fingertip touches. Palmer, in comes the corner. Palmer punches clear. And QPR will have a throw on the far side. It's all action at the start of this second half. 7 gone after the restart on Talksport 2. But QPR have seen a penalty saved. They still trail by 2-1. Ball's out of play for a throw to the R's. Over on the far side, taken quickly by Smith. And everyone around the stadium now just taking stock of what's happened in the past couple of minutes at that loft end. Here come QPR again. Smith down the right-hand side. Reach trying to stay with him. Smith gets to the byline, hits it against Reach. Yet another Queen's Park Rangers corner. I make it 14 corners as we see another replay on our monitors of Sam Field's header that evaded Alex Palmer just, but Kipre flinging himself towards his own goal, headed it over the bar. Quite sensational defending from Cedric Kipre to keep West Brom 2-1 up. And now Anderson spots the ball down for yet another corner to the hosts. Again, it's at the corner of the loft end and the Stanley Bowles stand. Away to our right-hand side. But there's going to be a change for West Brom before that. And Semi Ajayi is coming on for West Bromwich Albion. Just looking to see who went off for West Brom there. I think it was Tom Fellows that went off. So he's off. Ajayi is on. Here comes the corner from Anderson into the near post, chested down by Field at that near post, gives it back to Anderson, feints to cross with his right, works it back to the edge of the area. Smith urged to shoot. Oh, he skies it way over the crossbar. Now there's being told by our producer back at base, who's seen a replay, that he thinks Cedric Kipre handles the ball. I thought it was a header. No, we're seeing it again, Alvin Martin.
I think it is hands. I think it goes past the keeper, and he actually puts his head there. Such a Maradona about it. But no, it was hands, and no VAR, obviously.
I think there's one or two around the stadium that have seen.
Came up the other side of his head. It would have been very difficult for the referee and the linesman to see that.
A yellow card for Alex Palmer for delaying the goal kick. But what looked like a sensational headed clearance from under his own crossbar by Cedric Kipre was actually a very sneaky use of the hand to keep the ball out.
There haven't been more complaints by the QPR players.
I don't think they realised.
They didn't see it either. Normally you would have a posse of players surrounding the referee.
Well, right. You were in Mexico City when Maradona handled it. You were sat on the bench. Should have been playing, but that's another story. Did you spot it at the time?
No.
There you go.
That's
how quick it can happen.
It was very, very quick, and because it was behind the goalkeeper, the referee's position that he looked at it from was impaired. He couldn't have seen it. But like I said, I would have expected, a QPR player to have seen it. They're on the pitch, they're 5-10 yards away from it.
We didn't see any complaints from any QPR players because effectively our attention's only been drawn to that incident by our producer who's seen a replay back at base. So it stays 2-1 to West Bromwich Albion. 10 minutes gone of the second half. But what a start to this second period. QPR had a penalty saved by Alex Palmer from Michael Frey. And then a goal line clearance from the hand of Cedric Kipre. Not sure whether it would go down the hand of God route with it. West Brom win the ball back on halfway. Lovely run down the inside right channel from Mikey Johnson. Darnell Furlong plays the ball into the box. Dejan Garner tries to let the ball run across his body, but it's gone out of play. And they're playing three at the back now, West Bromwich Albion. Ajayi, Kipre and Peters, with Reach and Furlong playing as the left and right wing backs for West Brom. Field, lovely ball out to the right hand side for QPR, and Paul Smith up against Reach, driving for the byline once again. Smith gets to the byline, pulls the cross in, gets to the far post. It was looking for Parr to get a touch. Guess what? It's another QPR corner. 2-1 West Brom.
I say the first 10 minutes of this second half has belonged to QPR. They've played continually inside that penalty area. They've had maybe a penalty that a good save for the keeper, but should have been struck firmer, and certainly a penalty that they haven't got that I don't think anyone realised that they should have got.
Corner from the left-hand side, and a flicked header from Field. It's gone the wrong side of the post. Lovely run from Sam Field, running across the line from the far post, but the header he got, in fact, Steve Cook in actual fact who got the header in, and it was a good 4 or 5 yards wide. Just didn't get enough purchase
should have done
on
better.
The header.
Dancer, centre half really. That's meat and drink. He should have that on target.
Yeah.
You can see his reaction. He knows.
Hand straight on top of his head. West Brom clear the ball up to halfway, but it evades Jed Wallace. It's been all QPR since the restart, but it is still 2-1 to the visitors. Hayden in the centre circle for QPR. Plays the ball wide to Dunn. Then Smith tries to work it down the right-hand channel for Anderson. Smith still has it, has to lay it off inside his own half to Cook. Now Field on the halfway line. Neat passing from the hosts. Hayden again. Gets his head up on halfway. Alvin.
Everything's quicker from QPR's point of view. There's the agency, the sharpness with the pass, there's a crispness to their play that certainly improved after the half-time team talk.
Field turns the ball down the left-hand side, asking Frey to give chase. Kept it in play and gets it away from Ajayi. Can't get away from Peters, but the ball ricochets into the path of Hayden. Finds Ilias Chair, left-hand side for Queen's Park Rangers. Gets in Field. Clips the ball deep to the far post. It's going to be a comfortable catch for Alex Palmer. Bowls it out immediately to get Mikey Johnston away, and he moves into the QPR half. Only Wallace ahead of him. Dejan Garner making a run. Johnston's going to go for goal. That was ambitious, but then he has scored already with a cracker in this game. This one went a good 10 yards wide. Goal kick QPR. QPR 1, West Brom 2. You're listening to Talksport 2. Ian Danter and Alvin Martin with you.
Well, there's no doubt about it. When Johnson's got the ball at his feet, Dance, he's a sight to behold, isn't he? He really does travel so well with the ball, and he jinks inside out, and we've talked about him going left. He prefers to come in on his right, and he did it again there. At the moment, though, his ball, his impact on the game is being limited to counter-attacks because it's been all QPR.
A couple of changes being made. One for West Brom. Pippa, who played for Carlos Corberán at Huddersfield, is coming on to replace Adam Reach at left wing back, and Joe Hodge, who's on loan here at QPR, is coming on for Isaac Hayden to move into midfield. See what that does for QPR, who've been very much dominant in this second period, but they still trail by 2-1. against this playoff chasing West Bromwich Albion team. They have it inside their own half with Semi Ajayi. Joe Hodge, who's already scored for QPR on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers. But here come West Brom down the left-hand side with Jed Wallace. Work back to Pippa, left-hand corner of the area, just wrestles away from the attentions of Anderson. Yokuzlu gets a shout of man on from all the West Brom fans in the school end away to our right-hand side. Ball's out of play as Jimmy Dunn couldn't hold on to it, and it's out of play for a throw to West Bromwich Albion.
Just settle down a bit now. You know, QPR come out the traps in the second half really quickly, didn't they? Put a lot of pressure. We've seen a lot of goalmouth incidents, to say the least, in the West Brom penalty area. But, you know, they've just recovered a little bit here, and they've started to keep the possession a little bit easier. That's what they need to do. They need to take control, like they had most of the time in the first half.
Real Madrid lead RB Leipzig on the night and on aggregate. It's 1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate. Vinicius Junior. It's QPR 1, West Brom 2. They're trying to slide in Paul Smith down the right-hand side. Good interception from Pippa, who's gone into that left wing-back position that Adam Reach was occupying. Lucas Anderson for Queen's Park Rangers. Lays the ball off to Clark Salter. Now Kenneth Powell works it back for Clark Salter on the halfway line. Cook just behind him. Sends it across to the tall QPR right-back Jimmy Dunn. Clark Salter just drops his shoulder to get away from Dean Garner for a moment. Field on halfway. Finds Chair. Chair has got Powell to his left-hand side, and Hodge is there as well. Hodge will now receive it just in field, midway point of the West Brom half. He'll want to do well against West Brom on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Joe Hodge. Anderson gives it back to Sam Field, who's just been taken down by Okay Yokuzlu. Free kick to QPR, taken by Clark Salter. Short to Powell, gives it back to Clark Salter. Chair, who's taken his gloves off that he had in the first half. I didn't think he was that cold in the first place. Now it's Cook looking to release Smith down the right hand side. Smith sees Palmer come out, and it was actually a good starting position for Alex Palmer, the West Brom keeper, who got there on the bounce to collect it. 2-1 West Brom.
It looked like when it left his foot like a great ball, but as soon as it skipped off the turf, it bounced up, and it was always a keeper's ball. But as you said, his starting position really got him got West Brom, I should say, out of trouble there.
It's Alvin Martin alongside me, Ian Danter, here at Loftus Road. Just over an hour gone in the Championship. It is QPR 1, West Brom 2. Kipre, who's at the centre of a good deal of controversy in this second half. West Brom have won a throw.
They pushed up in the second half, and they put more pressure on the players receiving the ball at the back for West Brom, and because of that, they're winning the ball higher up the pitch. The crowd are getting more excited about it, and they're certainly looking like they've got a bigger control on the game than they had in the first half. QPR.
Leipzig have equalised at Real Madrid. Will Orban makes it Real Madrid 1, Leipzig 1 on the night. That's 2-1 on aggregate still to the Spanish Giants. Man City 3, Copenhagen 1 over on Talksport right now. Manchester City 6-2 up on aggregate. Don't forget the sports bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy at 10 o'clock. Fifth test between India and England gets underway early hours of the morning. Johnny Bairstow's 100th test. Good luck to him. And good luck to England as they try and round the test series off, getting it back to 3-2. And we'll be on air from 3:30 in the morning, first ball at 4 a.m. with our top commentary team. Ball-by-ball exclusive commentary of England's test series. Ball's rolled back to Asmir Begovic, the QPR keeper. Neat ball to find Parle, who's got a bit of space to move into, can get it to at least halfway for QPR. No one's closing him down. Plays a short pass into the feet of Chair. Chair now gets his head up. A few runs being made. Hodge made a good run inside left channel, but didn't use him. Instead, Clark Salter has the ball, works it into the centre circle for Steve Cook. Cook has Anderson asking for a short pass, but it goes out to Smith on the right wing for QPR. Up against Pippa. Shows a bit too much to Pippa, but Pippa puts it behind. I'll make that corner number 16 for Queen's Park Rangers tonight. QPR 1, West Brom 2. 25 minutes to go, Alvin.
Yeah, and I think, you know, they pass the ball, there's more crispness to their passing. Chair obviously is the one that makes everything tick. He's the one that will receive the ball in difficult situations, tight situations, and keep possession of it. And if he's playing well, I think QPR play well.
Anderson with the latest corner from that far right-hand side, and before he can take it, the referee, Jeff Eltringham, spotted some pushing and shoving. Clark Salter and Pippa, I think, were the two players he was looking at. And they're still in close attendance with one another, just inside the area. Referee keeping a very close eye on that as Anderson drills the corner deep to the far post, headed back across the face of goal. Frey can't get a piece of it. Headed up and out by Dean Garner, helped further clear by Johnston, but lovely hook pass from Smith out to the right-hand corner of the area, and Anderson up against Pippa, drives for the byline. Can he get the cross? And he manages to dig out the cross, but it just snakes along the dead ball line, and it's a comfortable save for Alex Palmer at his near post. 2-1 West Brom.
And West Brom are being asked a lot of questions defensively at the moment. They're coming up with answers, and I think when they look back on this game, QPR, they'll certainly refer back to what should have been a penalty, really. You know, we thought it was initially a great bit of defending by Kipre, but on the replays, it's been shown to be a handball and turning point in the game, maybe.
Johnston for West Brom, out to the left-hand side. Chance to work the ball into the area, looking for Wallace, who was in front of goal. Brilliant interception by Steve Cook, and QPR get it clear up to Frey. Hits the ball against Kipre. It's actually rebounded kindly for the West Brom number 4. And now Yokuzlu gets the ball back from Mowat, and then just flicks the ball back to Alex Palmer. But that's appreciated by the locals here, that they're being forced back, West Brom, all the way to their keeper. Ball's out of play. QPR have a throw. There's only one goal in this, Alvin.
Yep, still very much in the game, QPR.
And here is Jimmy Dunn for QPR. Gets up to the halfway line, plays a square ball to his right. Smith finds Dunn again, further down that right-hand touchline, just about 15-20 yards inside the West Brom half. Now it's Field looking to release Smith down the right-hand side. Peters trying to protect the ball behind for a goal kick, and he's done exactly that. The only thing is, Alex Palmer's got to be careful that he doesn't take too long to take any goal kicks, because he's already been booked, Alvin.
Yeah, that's right. They keep trying to get Smith in on that right-hand side, don't they? You know, then Chair obviously on the ball and weaving his magic. You know, Anderson's got a little bit about him. You know, he's somebody that can find a pass, and he's somebody, you know, that maybe could be capable of getting QPR back in this. And Smith on the right-hand side, they seem the best avenues.
West Brom clear their lines up to halfway. Dean Garner collides with Clark Salter, who holds onto the ball, trying to stop West Brom taking a quick throw in. And Clark Salter's just been reminded to watch himself by the referee, Jeff Eltringham. And it will eventually be a throw for West Brom, just down beneath us. Dean Garner back on his feet as he was clattered into by Clark Salter. Throw by Furlong all the way back into his own half for Semi Ajayi. Now Kipre, who's clearly getting the boos. I think the QPR fans are aware of what's gone on earlier in the half, and he's the pantomime villain for the QPR fans. Kipre hits a lovely floated pass out to this right-hand side, and Darnell Furlong plays it down the right-hand side of the box for Dean Garner. Back for Furlong again, right-hand corner of the box, looking to work the ball into the area. Very tight space that West Brom are operating in. They've worked it back to Semi Ajayi, into the feet of Yokuzlu. QPR win it back. Good tenacious work down this near side. Chair infield to Frey. Frey lays it off neatly to Hodge. Hodge spots Jimmy Dunn in a bit of space, who can move into the West Brom half. Down the QPR right. Smith, who's seeing a lot of the ball down that right-hand side for QPR, puts the ball in on his left. Might take a touch. Frey! Whistle's gone. Whistle's gone for a foul. The referee has disallowed it. Frey tucked it away with some style. But there was a foul in the area, and West Brom have been given a free kick, and that will frustrate the home fans even more.
Yeah, I think the foul's been given on Kipre as well. He's not the most popular man on the ground anyway at the moment. Haven't seen a replay of it, Dance. The referee is the one that give it.
Well, the ball was whipped in by Smith, and it was a high boot, not from Frey, who got onto the loose ball. I think it might have been Sam Field. No, in actual fact, it was Chair, actually, I think. But Kipre was stooping down to head the ball clear, and it was given as dangerous play. And once again, QPR have been denied. They've had a penalty saved. They've had a ball cleared from the goal line by handball, and now they've had a goal disallowed for dangerous play.
The thing is that would have been given as a penalty, Kipre's handball, and he would have been sent off.
Yeah, he wouldn't be on the pitch
to... A massive change in the game.
Another change for QPR, and Chris Willock is going to come on for Lucas Anderson. Willock has been a decent player in midfield. They like him here at QPR. He's inventive, he works well with Chair. Scored 4 goals this season. Lucas Anderson's putting a good shift as well tonight for the hosts.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I don't think there's a QPR player that hasn't done himself justice tonight. I think, West Brom obviously got themselves a lead, but, on the second half performance stance, there's nothing in between these two sides. I think, inflection of balance of play, chances, etc. You'd certainly have QPR level.
Less than 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. Cardiff 1, Huddersfield 0. Middlesbrough 3, 10-man Norwich 1. Watford 1, Swansea 1. And here at Loftus Road, QPR 1, West Brom 2. But the London side, it's not for the want of trying that they're still behind. They are giving it everything to try and draw level with 5th place West Brom. Cook clears the ball downfield. Frey knocks it down intelligently. Smith is onto it, lobs it through. Willock will chase after it gamely towards the corner flag, left-hand side. Has he won a throw? It has gone out of play for its West Brom throw. It's been given in the end. It was Willock who got the final touch, and he disappeared out of sight from our commentary position for a moment, Alvin. We can't see when the ball's tight to that near touchline down beneath us. So West Brom will have a throw, and they'll take their time over getting it back into play, I'm sure. In it goes from Furlong, headed back in field by Field. Didn't mean that, but just the way it came out of my mouth. It's
I thought
Steve Cook. It wasn't deliberate at all, wasn't it? Parle plays a 1-2 with Willock down this left-hand side. Back it goes for Clark Salter. Steve Cook was part of that promotion-winning Bournemouth side, 10 years ago now, when Eddie Howe's side got into the Premier League. Here's Clark Salter. Might find Cook again. Indeed he will. Cook in the centre circle. Frey going through the centre of the pitch. Wants it played over the top, but Cook will just flick it to his right for Dunn. Infield once again looking to find Sam Field, who will drift ahead of the centre circle and find Willock. Willock drops his shoulder for a moment, but he can't get away from Dejan Garner. Very patient here from QPR. 17 minutes to go. QPR 2-1 down here. They're trying to work it down the right-hand side for Smith. It's gone out of play for a throw. They might send a long throw into the box here. Smith might fancy launching this into the danger zone. So many clubs have a long throw specialist now. And in comes the long throw into the near post. It's headed up and out by Pippa, but it'll drop in the centre of the half for Clark Salter. Just plays a 1-2 with Cook. Crowd weren't happy with that pass from Cook. Sold Clark Salter a bit short. Infield it goes for Chair. Just lays it off into his own half for Clark Salter. Steve Cook again. Smith making a run down the right-hand side. He's found him now. Tight to that far touchline. Tries to go on the outside of Pippa. Sticking with him well. Fouls him though, Pippa. Assistant gives the free kick to QPR. Tight to that far touchline, pretty much level with the West Brom penalty area, right-hand side. QPR 1, West Brom 2.
Well, what we've got now, I think, is a situation coming into the last 15 minutes where I think, you know, West Brom are starting to protect their lead. They obviously want to be able to kill the game off and get a third, but you know there is an element of that creeps into you as a team. You want to protect your single goal lead that they've got now without taking any unnecessary chances.
Free kick down the right-hand side of the area then. Smith to take it. Packed penalty area. And again, the referee, before he allows the kick to be taken, just having a look at one or two individuals pushing and shoving around the penalty spot area. Smith raises his right arm, drifts in the free kick, headed out to the edge of the area by Furlong. And then Dean Garner says anywhere will do and gets it out of trouble. Cardiff have beaten Huddersfield by 1-0 at the Cardiff City Stadium. So Huddersfield stay in trouble just above the drop zone. That's 4 unbeaten now for Cardiff, who are improving all the time and might still have half a say on the playoffs. Middlesbrough have beaten 10-man Norwich by 3-1. And they needed that, Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough. Watford won, Swansea won, that's still playing at Vicarage Road. Here at Loftus Road, we've got 14 minutes to go on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Ball is back with Jake Clark-Salter. More live championship football coming up on Friday night. Here on Talksport 2, Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United. South Yorkshire against West Yorkshire. Kick-off at 8 o'clock. We're on air from 7 o'clock here on Talksport 2 with all the build-up and full live commentary. Meantime, inside the West Brom half, it's Field, the former baggy, finding Chris Willock. Willock tried to loft the ball into the area, drops for Field again at the edge of the box, lofts it out to Paul Smith, brings the ball down on his chest, running out towards the far touchline, goes down, under pressure, wants a free kick. The referee's assistant on that far side does not flag like he'd done before, and Paul Smith thumps the turf in frustration, but all that's been given is a throw into West Bromwich Albion.
And a few of his teammates are remonstrating as well with the referee. I don't know why they didn't do that with Kipray's handball. It's crazy.
As you say, Alvin, I just don't think they spotted it.
No.
And eventually it will be a throw-in, and Paul Smith is still making representations to Jeff Eltringham, the referee, that his shirt was being pulled. But the referee is just trying to calm some of those QPR players down. It's finished Watford 1, Swansea 1. That's a result at Vicarage Road. So Watford have failed to win 5 games in a row at Vicarage Road. And they might be
I think the owners are pretty patient there, aren't they?
Yeah, righto.
Okay.
A triple change for West Bromwich Albion. Players coming on are John Swift, Nathaniel Chalobah and Andreas Weimann. That's a great threesome to bring on. Great experience there for Carlos Corberán to call upon. Mikey Johnston is one of those coming off. So too Grady Diangana. And I think the other player going off was Yokuslu. Johnson's now just walking behind the goal at the loft end, running the gauntlet at the QPR fans in that goal away to our left-hand side. And there are 1 or 2 fans throwing things at him. Please, oh, stop it now. Goodness me, somebody throwing a plastic bottle at Mikey Johnston. There's no need for that at all. Thankfully, that appears to have stopped as Johnson makes his way towards the corner flag on this near side. So after that triple change, just over 10 minutes to go here on Talksport 2. QPR 1, West Brom 2. Are we in for a grandstand finale? Can QPR get themselves level? Remember, they led through Sam Field. Only for goals from Johnson and Diangana. Now Lyndon Dykes is coming on for Parle. And also Morgan Fox is coming on for Jake Clark-Salter. So more changes being made in this break in play. A double substitution from the hosts. So 2 big men up front now, Alvin Martin. You got Frey up there and Dykes.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, Dan, what will happen is that they'll sit a little bit deep now, trying to protect what they've got here, West Brom, and that will obviously hand the initiative and territorial advantage to QPR, that they've had anyway, to be fair, for the majority of this second half.
Ball half cleared by West Bromwich, but back underway. Dykes involved straight away. Down the right-hand side of the area, trying to make a nuisance of himself. And do you know what? He's won a corner. Corner number 17 for Queen's Park Rangers. And Ilias Chair's gone across to take it. 2-1 West Brom.
I don't think they've created a worthwhile chance from any of them 17 corners, which is not good enough, really.
There's height in there for QPR, though. In it comes from Chair. Flicked out to the edge of the area, brought down by Willock. He was trying to make room for a shot originally, but he's at the left-hand corner of the area now. Checks onto his right, lobs it to the far post, across the face goal, not in against the post. Field! It's 2-2. Sam Field equalises his second goal of the night against his former club, and QPR, battling for their lives in the Championship, have got the goal that all their second half pressure has brought to bear. They've had a penalty saved, they've had what looked a certain goal cleared off the line by a handball, but they finally get themselves level. Originally the cross sent to the far post was headed against the post, but Sam Field following up, nodded home. It's QPR 2, West Brom 2.
And they finally get some good fortune, you know, because that ball hits the bar. It looks like it's not going to be their night, but then it falls to Field. And he's a player that's been in the right place at the right time on more than one occasion tonight. And it's an easy finish for him. Now listen to this now. It didn't look like there was a goal in it for them, but 2-2. You wouldn't back against them getting all 3 points now.
I think it was Dykes who had the header that came off the post from very close range. But Sam Field was onto it in a flash.
You can't say they haven't deserved that.
No,
they've been asking question after question after question, and they certainly deserve it. What they've got to be careful, obviously, they don't get overconfident now and concede again, because it's a valuable point where they are.
8 minutes to go on Talksport 2. We are in for a grandstand finish. It's 2-2. QPR in possession, with a man who's now on a hat-trick against his old club. What a night for Sam Field. Out it goes to Smith, who flicks it up to halfway. Brought down by Peters and lobbed back to goalkeeper Alex Palmer. Takes a touch, finds Kipre at the edge of his own area. Was almost set upon by those two giant forwards up front, but he just got the ball away from Frey and Dykes. But then they've given it away on halfway. Willock for QPR. Finds Chair. Willock again. Lovely combination play. Chair in the inside left channel, plays the ball across the face of goal. Kipre only heads it half clear. Dykes tried to get onto it, and it was cleared off the end of his toe for another QPR corner. Listen to the noise around the loft. 2-2.
Well, they're on a good run, QPR, you know, and they've shown a lot of character over the last few games. This really, even if it ends up at 2-2, it's like a win for them. Listen to the crowd. They're really on side.
Here comes the corner, just over the head of Frey, headed up in the air by Kipre. Overhead kick, cleared off the line by Furlong. Unbelievable attempt, kept out by a flying header. Steve Cook thought he'd score with an overhead kick, but that was definitely a headed clearance, not a handball. Brilliant from Darnell Furlong. 2-2 it stays.
Everyone thought it was in.
Corner kick, far post, Palmer punches clear, drifts out to the far side. QPR are throwing it all at West Brom now.
Wow, what a fabulous little passage of play there. It wasn't just the goal line clearance that was exceptional. The overhead kick from Cook was unbelievable. As he attempted it, I thought, what is he trying there? But he got it perfect. It was going top corner. It was a great goal line save. It was incredible.
Throw into QPR, back 5 yards from the corner flag on the far side of the field. Paul Smith winding up for the long throw. Lots of jostling for position at the near post. In it comes. Flicked onto the edge of the air, but there's a foul on a West Brom player inside the box. Just over 5 minutes to go. And it is all action here on Talksport 2 at Loftus Road.
One thing is
and
for
fair
sure.
play QPR, Alvin.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the second half, I think, you know, they were second best in the first half. You say that's about right, 2-1, with West Brom going in at half-time. But the second half, they've come out, they've been inspired, they've really taken chances, they've pressed, they've forced West Brom into a lot more mistakes in the second half. And look, they've had some injustice as well. You know, there was a penalty that should have been given. He should have been sent off. Kipre, we all thought it was a great goal line clearance. It wasn't. It was a handball. They missed the penalty, you know, and still kept going. Credit to them.
Frey flicks the ball on, looking for Dykes inside the West Brom half. West Brom winning 50-50 on halfway. Furlong trying to release Jed Wallace down the right-hand side of the box, but Cook, back doing his defensive duties, did well. Begovic can only clear as far as Mowat. But then Vyman loses out to Willock, who turns really well inside his own half. Great strength from Chris Willock. And lays it off to Dunn. 2-2 the score on Talksport 2. Here's Paul Smith, who tried to wriggle in field, just wouldn't break for him. QPR trying to win the ball back. And there's a foul on a West Brom player. And I've just seen a replay of Darnell Furlong's headed clearance. It was in front of the goal. There was no way it was over the line. But brilliant from the former QPR defender to keep West Brom level. Fantastic headed clearance. Here he is in the QPR half now, Darnell Furlong. Faced up by Willock. Has to go back for Semi Ajayi. 4 minutes to go. There's a winning goal in this for somebody. It's headed clear by Sam Field for QPR. One back by Ajayi. Now Swift out to the left-hand side. Swift goes for the byline, tries to whip the cross in. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
No, it's a corner, Dance.
Oh, it's a corner. Came off a QPR player as Pippa sent the ball in. So I think that's West Brom's second corner of the game compared to QPR's 18. 16,818 inside the loft tonight, and they've been richly entertained. Are we going to see a winning goal? Corner to West Brom at the school end. Whipped in right-footed into the near post. Chalobah tried to get something on it, and it came off his back and out for a goal kick. And there's belief around the stadium that the home side can get a winner here, Alvin Martin.
Absolutely. Just seen a picture flash up on the screen in the commentary positions here. And it was the new owner of West Brom. Welcome to West Brom.
Yeah.
I bet he's been up and down during the duration of this game. But look, it has been a great game as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Who could not have enjoyed this?
Shilin Patel, his name is. He's a Floridian businessman. He now owns, what, 87% of West Brom. Doesn't do your blood pressure any good, I should imagine, owning a football club. Ball's out of play for a West Brom corner. West Brom pushed forward, and QPR saw the ball ricochet off Sam Field and out for another corner to West Brom at the school end. Away to our right-hand side. And all the dark blue shirts come forward for the visitors. 2 minutes to go. 2-2 on Talksport 2. Corner from where the main stand meets the school end. A right-footed delivery from that far side of the field. In fact, it will be a left-footed delivery from Mowat, headed out from under his own crossbar by Dykes. Vyman looks for a teammate, but Sam Field tries to bring it clear, shows good strength against Kipre, who then shoulder charged him, and Field went into the advertising hoardings on the far side. Kipre is standing up and taking issue with a few QPR fans who are having a go at him.
I think they were taking issue with him.
Well, he stood up to them, Cedric Kipre.
I think he's outnumbered over there.
And he's walked away, and West Brom end up with a throw-in.
He's had an eventful game,
hasn't he? Just into the last minute of normal time. 2 apiece. Throw into West Brom, midway point of the QPR half. Vyman wins another throw in quick succession off Smith. Be very interesting to see how many minutes Jeff Elchingham's going to add on here, because we've had a whole raft of substitutions that will take up 30 seconds at a time. You can probably tell that Kipre's in possession. He's still getting the pantomime villain boos. Ajayi Hits the ball against Willock. It's another West Brom throw, this time on the near side. Carlos Corberan making wild gesticulations down beneath us, trying to direct operations down there. Real jack in the box, the West Brom manager, who's seen his side come from behind to lead, but have been pegged back here by a really resolute QPR side. Cross from the right-hand side, and Swift going in at the near post. Sees the header, flick wide for another corner. Is that another 6 minutes being added on? It's a corner kick to West Brom, though, again at the school end on the right-hand side. And the header hit Cook flush in the face and went out of play as Jed Wallace tried to get something on there. Real Madrid won, Leipzig won, Real Madrid are through. So too are Manchester City, live on Talksport. They've beaten Copenhagen 3-1. Latest corner for West Brom. Onto the 6-yard line, it almost fell for Semi Ajayi, but it was cleared away by QPR. We're into that first minute of 6 that have been added on. 2-2. Ball lofted into the area by Peters, headed out by QPR. There is a break on, but Ched just couldn't get the ball under his spell, and that allowed Chalobah to brilliantly get back and wrestle possession back for West Bromwich Albion. But you're right, Alvin Martin, just for a moment there was a 2-on-1 break brewing.
Yeah, just for once he's had a really good game, any chair, but his touch weren't good enough. He didn't get it under control. If he had of it, I think he could have released the ball and they'd have been in.
Steve Cook for QPR, inside his own half, squares the ball to his right for Dunn. Now Smith just over halfway, looking to release a teammate down the right-hand side. It's a quickly taken throw. Jimmy Dunn scrapping for possession with Vyman. Ball sent into the box. It's lofted in the air, goes over the head of Dykes. Furlong lets the ball run across his body, but Willock got there first. Did really well for QPR. Ball's gone out of our sight. Left-hand side of the area, cross comes in, and it just whistles away from Lyndon Dykes, who was thundering in at the far post, and Jimmy Dunn, who was up there too. And it goes behind for a West Brom goal kick. 2-2. Nervous finish.
It looked like the perfect ball, didn't it? Just slightly skipped off the surface.
Jimmy Dunn was closest to it in the end.
There's a spirit, though, isn't there, within the QPR side? You know, and they've been down at the bottom for the majority of the season. Morale would have been pretty low, but certainly been rekindled over the last 4 games.
Well, QPR are going up above Birmingham into 19th with the point they're getting here. They'll have a slightly better goal difference, and they will be on 39 points, but that is still just a point clear. Frey trying to win the ball back, left-hand side. Ball's going out of play for a throw down the left-hand side, and I think QPR wanted to take the throw quickly, and Jeff Eltringham stopped them for the moment. It's worked back by Chair to Willock. Chair gives the ball back into the centre circle for Steve Cook. 3 minutes of stoppage time gone, 3 to play. 2 apiece on Talksport 2. Smith wins a throw on that far side. Thinks about launching a long throw into the box. In fact, he will, because he's just beyond the midway point of the West Brom half. And Marty Cifuentes is telling his QPR players, fill that penalty area, put them under pressure.
What a finish this would be.
Well, Jeff Eltringham, the referee, just keeping an eye on some of that pushing and shoving at the near post at the loft end, because Jimmy Dunn's a tall man. He'll want to get something on it. Dykes is there. Frey's lurking at the edge of the box. In it comes. Looking for a flick at the near post, and a great claim by Alex Palmer, who was very brave, going out to deny Sam Field, who was on a hat-trick. Great goalkeeping from Alex Palmer. Stays 2-2. And he will roll the ball out. Lyndon Dykes was hoping he hadn't spotted he was behind him. I remember Dion Dublin doing that once. In a Premier League game, hiding behind a goalkeeper. 2-2. West Brom clip the ball down the right-hand side from John Swift, looking to get Andreas Weimann in behind, but it's gone out of play for a goal kick to QPR. There's still time for a winner for either side, and there's still belief around Loftus Road that the home side can get that winner. Cook hits a long Hail Mary pass downfield intended for Willock, but it'll bounce for Darnell Furlong, who can calmly nod the ball back to Alex Palmer. And Palmer will just take his time before clearing it downfield from hands. In fact, he'll roll the ball out in front of him and then smack it right-footed downfield. Should be right onto the head of Morgan Fox. Got a nudge in the back there, I fancy, from Darnell Furlong. Referee didn't think so.
I'd go along with that. I think you're right.
But he's given a throw into West Bromwich Albion instead, taken quickly down the right-hand side. But John Swift couldn't get the better of his man down this near right-hand channel for West Brom, and now QPR get a free kick. And we've got about 30 seconds of added time to play. One last chance maybe for the home side to get the ball downfield. Cook again hits it long downfield. Paul Smith gamely giving chase. Pippa, good header, back to his keeper. Very calmly done.
It was just what was needed, wasn't it, from West Brom's point of view. They're happy with the point now, West Brom. It's QPR want to get on with the game, but been a really good game all the way through. It's to and fro. Had instincts, hasn't it? It's had goals, great finishes, a lot of effort.
Cleared downfield, and the referee brings a brilliant game of Championship football to a close. Honours even at Loftus Road. QPR was seeking a fourth straight win, but they've got themselves a precious point to lift them just that little bit further clear of the dreaded dotted line at the foot of the Championship. They're now a point clear of the bottom three. They went ahead through former West Brom player Sam Field early in the first half, but 2 goals in 2 minutes. A brilliant right-footed strike from Mikey Johnson and an equally fierce right-footed effort from Grady Diangana had West Brom in front by the half hour, but QPR flew out of the traps at the start of the second half. Won a penalty for an Adam Reach handball, but Michael Frey's penalty was saved by Palmer. Kibre made what looked like a brilliant goal line clearance to deny what looked a certain QPR equaliser, but clearly used his hand to clear the ball over the bar. Darnell Furlong definitely used his head to clear the ball off the line, but just as QPR thought they'd run out of hope, the former baggy Sam Field stepped up again. After a header came off the post, Field was first on the scene to nod the ball home. Sensational finish to the game. And it's a point apiece, Alvin Martin.
Yeah, I've just seen a couple of QPR players go up to keeper at the end of the game, say, "You handled it," and he went, "Yes, I did." Plain as day, they've got away with one there. You know, and this QPR team, on tonight's performance and evidence of that performance, will go on and they will survive. They've certainly got a togetherness, a work ethic, and I think the QPR fans here are cheering them on. They've only drawn this game, they would have wanted to win it, and on another night they would have won this game, because they probably, in balance of play, deserved it. Maybe not got as much quality as West Brom in the forward positions, but what they made up for it with absolute togetherness, work rate, tenacity and team spirit.
Well, QPR players just doing a little mini lap of honour to thank the faithful in the loft end for their support tonight. Up next for QPR, our home match here at the weekend against Middlesbrough, who've won by 3-1 tonight to ease some of their relegation worries. West Brom will be live on Talksport 2 Sunday lunchtime when they go to Huddersfield Town, Carlos Corberan's former club, but they only take a point away from West London. If you were giving a man of the match just finally, Alvin, who would you have given it to tonight from what we've seen?
Well, he got his 2 goals, didn't he, Field? And he was always trying to get into positions where he could make a difference, and in the end he did, dance, you know. Yeah. But Cher was somebody that really did get on the ball, make things tick over for them. But look, you know, when you look at the two finishes as well from West Brom, Johnson was outstanding for West Brom on the left-hand side. Great finish. Ian Garner, it looked like they'd done enough to take all 3 points. But you've got to say that the better team on the night were QPR, especially with that rousing second half performance. And Field with his 2 goals was valuable.
Alvin, as always, brilliant having you with us tonight on Talksport 2. That's Alvin Martin, part of our commentary team here at Loftus Road. On Track is up next with John Jackson with all the latest motorsport news, Formula E, F1 and plenty more. Besides, the Sports Bar just getting underway over on Talksport with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy taking your calls and WhatsApp voice notes 03717223344. Our next live Championship football is Friday night at Hillsborough. Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United here on Talksport 2. Make sure you're with us for what should be a cracking Yorkshire derby. But it's been a great game here in West London. Full-time score here at Loftus Road on Talksport 2. Queen's Park Rangers 2, West Bromwich Albion 2.